Good morning. So this is our second video in the series of 52, 51 days to go to the anniversary of the founding of Cary Spotlight. We're going to go over what happened in week two. So let's just hit it. Again, so now we're on to issues 8 through 14. Right away, catch your eye here is the health alert. So that was pretty good. There was a story that's already capturing the audience attention or something that somebody wanted should know about. So we put that in there. And again, we got some stories here from our local high school doing some stuff. So that's definitely something to bring in. And actually came across this was a PR piece that this company put out. So this was not really our first local business spotlight, but they were doing something cool for Thanksgiving. For Halloween, where they were getting back candy and kind of promoting themselves. So that's pretty cool. Um, Pickleball, yes, pickleball's all the rage. Of course, a lot of tennis players don't like pickleball players being on their court. So that's a growing pickleball community. So that was something to talk about. Also, it matches the demographic of the people that do sign up from Facebook. This is the 50 plus group. So for them, pickleball definitely is something that is on their radar. Again, Duke University, we're talking about medical research, so having that kind of story in there makes sense. And then here also like a safety thing for the time of the year to help people remember to put in the smoke detectors. So try to be helpful with the community as well as warning those that are have plants or their hoses are connected that there's our first freeze is coming up. So again, now the weather kind of makes sense, right? Kind of like, hey, make sure you take care of this. So freeze notice is definitely something that we probably want to bring back or keep on my notepad for the upcoming winter for this year. And again, yeah, a little meme. And then here we started to pull out events that are on the list, kind of to spotlight it and bring out a little longer write up about that event to kind of pique people's interest. Um, all that this kind of stuff will definitely get people to open. Finding poop in a restaurant or food, rat poop, yeah, that's definitely going to get people's attention. And also here we got our first little discover downtown Cary where we highlight different things that you can actually find in the area. So that's great for people that are new to the area to find out, hey, what is available. Um, so that's kind of what we did in this one. So, and then, yeah, also something weird that you might see in the park. The Cary was testing an autonomous shuttle. So there's no driver in it. It just stops and goes around the park. And this is our first indication also here um, about some kind of assault at the state fair. So again, some kind of a crime related story. So sports is good. Crime had its own section. Now I just roll this up as just local news, but back then I actually broke it out into different sections. As you can see here, that's kind of a throwback to the old newspaper kind of breakout of things, but now we just roll it up. And as you can see, we started using our reader feedback. This is probably a good poll to bring back again in October. People like that kind of stuff. Um, and also, I'm testing different ways of doing the headline because the headline will also show up as the subject line um, for the email that goes out. So you'll see that I'll have different formats for this, and I'll settle on a way I do that later on. But again, very simple, very easy to read content table. um, making people want to go. I probably wrote a lot more articles than I do now, simply because I kept the write ups really short. Um, so again, you can see that we had vaccinations on the mind. The book recon was really good, so I would definitely bring back the book recon. I think the reason I stopped because I started to monetize the book recon, and that required an extra step in order to do that. But you know, it's probably beneficial to bring this kind of stuff back because again, it's the content is more important than trying to get a few pennies on the book. So I guess trying to do the book, which I'll probably show you when we get to that part, where we actually try to link to an affiliate uh, offer to the book. Um, but I think just for our subscribers, I would probably bring this back as is without trying to monetize it because it just it's good for content and to break up how things are done. Lottery, yes, again, a feel good story. There are a lot of people that are actually still participating in lottery. I took the lottery out because a lot of the winners were not in our local area, and the Mega Millions jackpot had gone down. But probably based on the timing of the year, the lottery fever will come back. So again, trying to highlight event that's helping homeless families. This is more like a charity thing. This is in the beginning. Again, we were doing a lot of event spotlights for free to kind of build that sense of community. Um, Put out the idea that we are here to support community building events. So that's pretty cool. Um, let's look at this one. Yeah, a local award show. That's something that's also good to have on your radar. Um, I did a lot of work in the beginning, just searching on Google events and on Facebook for events that are coming up. And then, that was the majority of the time. Now I just have one or two calendars that I really just kind of consolidate just to save time. Because again, um, we want to get as many of these editions out without compromising quality, but also not having to spend all day trying to get all the possible events that's out there on there. Again, helpful reminder about the falling, setting back our clocks. You'll be surprised how many people don't remember to do that. So we kind of put that in there, and also safety. So this is probably a story that we can repurpose coming up when we go over into the next year. Um, Same idea here. Some memes, events. Pull out one major event uh, from above the fold, and that also kind of folds up the content as we get to the end of the week. Um, okay, where can we catch the foliage? So this is more kind of like news that are not specific to Cary, but this is more kind of like North Carolina or the regions for people to travel. So we also include that. So, and then another useful the thing that I found was the high school football scores. So this will definitely be something that we'll be bringing back because that was something that's pretty straightforward, um, easy to link to. So we can pull out the sports scores for the teams that are playing in our local area that people are interested in. So that's pretty good. Um, Another one that I found that was really useful that I've taken out for a while now, but I can put back in is how long have you lived in the area? I think we've actually um, you'll see in future editions expanded this because I found that the plus 10 years actually include people that have lived in the area for 50 years. So by actually making more categories. So you can actually get finer details on the kind of readership that you are attracting, and that can be useful, for realtors and other people that have to deal with people that are residents in the area living a long time. They may be downscaling, downsizing their home, or maybe they're new to the area and they're looking for a place to buy. So that's useful data to have, especially if you're a realtor and you're kind of looking at um, setting up a newsletter for yourself. So that's kind of, again, we have an ice rink open, which is unusual. In North Carolina, this is not like the Northeast where we're used to having stuff like that. So the local mall has a square that they set up especially for ice skating. And so we're kind of including those events. So again, most likely something that will be bringing back as the weather cools, and they'll probably open the rink again. And they'll have special days where um, there's like a cheapskate day. So we'll see if they're still doing that. And then lastly, we go back to our specialty edition. So in this case, as we can see, we still only have one specialty edition. You'll see in the future we've added more. Um, we've kind of settled on a standard format for how to set up this real estate block. So it's always going to be um, a week range, how many properties were sold, the price of the properties, the average. So this is the average, not the median. There's different statistics that you can use, but we just settled on the average and stuck with it. And then the average per square foot of houses. This is kind of what people are looking when they're looking at comps. How does my house compare to other houses in square footage? And again, looking at the data, people love clicking on these links to go see what the properties look like, and that's a good way of training your readers to click on your links and to trust the links where you send them. Yes, feedback. This is interesting because I realized I was asking them specifically only on was the real estate listings useful. In the future, if we start adding a little bit more information about real estate and mortgage, we actually change that to like be the general, hey, how do we do in this issue? So again, if you do that kind of stuff, just be aware that some people are going to be negative. Most people are positive, and I would say there are positive people, but the majority of people are probably not going to fill it out. But if something really hits home, that's where um, you're going to get some really good data and feedback. So that's kind of the week two in a wrap. There's a couple of things that you'll definitely want to use again for the Halloween period. So I would say if you're looking at this long term, you can almost have like an editorial calendar where you'll say, hey, at this time of the year, this is the kind of stories that I would run and repeat. Obviously, news and crime and that kind of stuff, and outbreaks and food poisonings and stuff, those are going to change. But things about around Halloween events are probably going to be repeating. So you can save time for coming up with topics to write by kind of having those penciled in. And so the second year of producing the newsletter should get better because you now kind of know what you're doing and have a rhythm. So just bear that in mind that in the beginning it will be a grind to get yourself set up, but then as you go forward, some of the stories basically write themselves or come back around. Okay, cool.